Hello, my name is Darren Thomas. I'm the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to learn how to create a glossary inside Moodle. So as you can see, I'm already logged into Moodle. I already turned my turn editing off button is already set to on so that I can edit inside my experimental class here. And so like I told you, we're going to learn how to make a glossary. Now, a glossary, to put it simply, is not just a glossary. It is a way to organize content that the students provide online through the use of a specific term that they create. So you can put anything inside a glossary. They can put links in there, and where they have YouTube videos organized by a term. You can put in attachments, Word documents. I mean, it's endless what you can do. But in Moodle, they specifically define it as a glossary because the original intention was for cataloging words. As you know, in academics, there's a huge amount of terms and vocabulary that students need to know. And so the glossary allows students to input various terms for the purpose of studying, as for future exams or assessments, if you will. So as you can see, I'm already in Moodle. I click on Add an Activity or Resource here. And then I go down and I click right here on the glossary. And of course, you can read this information right here about what the activity can do. And they tell you about how you can create definitions, organize resources or information. And then they give you some ideas on how to use it. Collaborative bank of key terms, getting to know you space where new students can add their name and personal details, handy tips. You can put anything inside a glossary. But we're just going to show you briefly how this works. So if I click Add, it takes me here. Now, of course, as you know, I have to give it a name, so I'm just going to call this example glossary. Nothing special here. And of course, you can put some directions for the students for what they need to do. Add a term from the reading. So we'll just make this as what we're going to do here. And make this nice and big for you. All right, so there we go. That's our directions. Now, there are a few options in the glossary that I would like to show you. The first one here, you're not going to see this one. I need to make this clear. This is something you can see only through administrative privileges. So you're not going to see, is it Glossary Global? If it's global, that means it doesn't just apply in your class. It applies over the entire Moodle website for your particular institution. And then right here, you have the choice between a secondary and a main glossary. Basically, a secondary glossary can take terms from a main glossary. That's kind of how that works. For the average teacher, I don't think this is going to make much of a difference, but that's kind of how it works. And so you can only have one main glossary in a Moodle course. And of course, you can have many secondary glossaries. Again, I mean, why anybody would make it that complicated is beyond me personally. Now, there are two things that are new here. Entries and appearance. These other terms should already be familiar from other videos like grading, how many points are they worth, what category, in the ratings. These are things we saw when dealing with forums and other activities in Moodle. So we're going to focus specifically on entries and appearance right now. So entries, it just tells you what happens when the student puts in an entry. So do they need to be approved? Should the student be allowed to edit them? Can you have duplicates of the same term? Can you put comments on the entries? And should we automatically link? Linking needs a little bit more explanation. Linking is like if a student types in, creates the, say for example, the term verb. Anywhere inside the Moodle class where the word verb appears, it'll have an automatic link added to it where when they click on that link, it'll take them to the glossary where they can see the content about what a verb is. So that's the benefit of that. But that can be confusing if you have quizzes and stuff inside your Moodle course. So you have to be careful with that particular feature. These other ones are self-explanatory. Comments are useful where students can provide feedback to each other about the quality of the particular term that was added or something about the content that was put in there, etc. When you are deciding about what options to use, you have to consider, like I've told you before, the particular goals you have for the students through that learning experience. As such, I can't tell you if it's a good or a bad idea because what we would need to know is what do you want the students to do and how are you going to assess that? Then you can judge the quality based on your own teaching preferences and philosophy. The second item to look at here is the appearance. There are several different forms for the dictionary. Again, this is like a detail that almost nobody cares about and is not really beneficial for the typical user of Moodle. So we're just going to leave it on simple dictionary style. And then of course approval has a whole lot of other choices. Again, default makes life easier. Number of entries per page, 10. Again, these are mostly self-explanatory. Show ABC links. These you have to see, and I'll show you those in a second. But they're all set to yes. So showing alphabet link, that means at the top of the page for the glossary, there's a little alphabet A, B, C, D. There's also a button that will show you all the entries at the same time. Special symbols such as the @ symbol or the hashtag symbol will also have its own space, and you can also allow the students to print it. So this is kind of the options that are available. Not very deep, not very complicated, especially if you stick to the simple dictionary style and the default. So we're going to click Save Display here. So this is what it looks like. So you can see right here we have the special, let me make this bigger for you, excuse me. We have the little special sign here. If I click on this, if any entry starts with like a hashtag or an exclamation mark, it'll show up here. Then we have the ABCs here. And then of course we have all right. Now the problem we're facing right now is there are no entries. So of course we need to add an entry. So we're going to click right here. We're going to zoom out a little bit to make this a little bit easier to see. All right, so I'm going to put in a term, language. That's my term. And then I define language. Language is used for verbal communication, as an example. Again, this is not an official TESOL class or something, but you get the point. So, and again, now remember inside the actual Moodle editor here, you can put anything. I could put links, I can put pictures. I mean, it's endless. I can put, I can highlight things, I can make the text bold, I can center it. There's no end to the creativity. You can put in videos and put YouTube links, etc. Again, what you do is determined by what kind of evidence you are requiring from your students. So I could put in keywords. This helps with organizing things across the Moodle landscape if I wanted to. I can add attachments. I can decide if it should be auto-linked or not. Remember, the auto-link is wherever the term language appears, because that's the word I'm putting in, wherever it appears in that particular Moodle course, it'll automatically become linked. And when you click on that link inside Moodle, it'll take you to this page. So in terms of the creativity, I'm going to leave it up to you. I just wanted to expose you to these ideas. So I click here, and so now there's a term. And so here's the term that I typed, and then here's the actual definition. Again, you can put in pictures and colors and sounds and videos. I mean, it's endless what you can do with this. But this is just enough to get you started. So there you have it. In this video, we looked at how to make or how to set up a glossary in Moodle. This is not as complicated as other features inside Moodle. However, it is really up to you how far you want to extend this. Many of the things that you're doing here inside a glossary could be done, for example, in a forum. However, the advantage of the glossary is the ability to organize the term, or if you want to, the subject if it's a forum, alphabetically. This is something that is not available when you do a forum inside Moodle. The features involve being able to make comments and other things of that nature. You can grade these if you so desire, just as you would forums, but it's just another place for students to upload content. Remember, the original purpose of Moodle is interaction through an online learning experience, and this is what the glossary provides you. Students are able to upload terms or content, and they're also able to provide comments on each other's work. As I also already mentioned, the teacher is able to provide feedback through marking or also providing comments themselves. So we hope that this video was useful for you, and we thank you for watching. Take care.